Let me start this off by just asking a simple question, and then I'll elaborate. Are you letting your emotions control you, or are you in control of your emotions? So, the reason I ask is that I think it's kind of difficult to know where that line is because everybody that's lived more than a few minutes on this planet will know that it's easy to get carried away with your emotions. It's also very easy to get carried away with the emotions of others. You see this kind of behavior in concerts and at sporting events where everyone's just hyped, and so you just kind of get swept up into it. Sometimes it's to fit in. Sometimes it's just simply like when you can feel the energy of a crowd around you. It feels good in a lot of ways to kind of just go with it because it takes more effort to kind of resist it. What brought this question to my mind is this kind of internet sensationalized view of depression and anxiety. That because a boy has difficulty being articulate when he's trying to chat up girls, he's got anxiety. And I would disagree with that. Because everyone gets a little nervous when you're going to go at like a job interview. You're feeling a little nervous because first you're not wearing clothes that you normally wear. You got the suit, the tie, or just much more formal than average. So you're not really dressed comfortably or conventionally from whatever your standard might be. And then also, this person's literally judging you as a person, your past, your employment history, your everything, to make a decision about whether they think that you are able to help their company, whatever it is they work for. And so that can be a stress-inducing environment. But if you want to be able to like have a paycheck, you just have to swallow that down, get over it, go in there, and then honestly fumble the ball a few times until you can kind of get a feel for, first off, who the crap even are you, and then second, what is a good way to sell yourself in an effective way in order to get the job, to sell the product to whatever, right? It's not easy, but it's just part of life. The same thing is true with dating and relationships and all that, of that it takes guts to put yourself aside and just go up to somebody and just be like, to just start talking to them and then see where it goes. If you don't feel nervous about that, you might be a psychopath or a sociopath or a monster or an alien in a flesh suit, frickin' reptilian. So those are natural. That's the way you should feel about that stuff. It doesn't equate to you having an deeply seated emotional or cognitive disorder. It's not the same thing. However, the internet would lead you to believe otherwise. That because you feel sad occasionally, that you have a mild form of depression, or that because you know what, sometimes on Friday you just don't want to go out, that there's something wrong with you. And I would highly contest that idea. What brought this really to my attention is this ad that I see on a regular basis now for a prescription medication for depression, which features a woman, fictionalized woman or whatever, that just doesn't want to fold her laundry because she feels depressed. And quite frankly, I just don't buy that. Does depression cause a loss of interest in things? Yes. Does it also cause a reduction of energy? Does it cause a challenge to like really invest in something to start doing it? Yes. However, Certain things just need to be done. And I think that in some ways that we are cognitively facilitating laziness and immaturity, really, by thinking that, well, I just don't feel like it, so no. No, sometimes you just got to. Like, if you're especially a single mom, but if you're a mom and you got kids and they want something, like they're gonna have to eat eventually, means you got to cook food. Doesn't matter if you're sick, doesn't matter if you don't feel well, doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a depressive episode. Stuff got to get done. They're not going to do their own laundry. They're not going to make food for themselves. They're not going to wash the dishes or anything because they're kids. That kind of behavior you expect from children. Emotional kind of vacillation and just, I don't want to, so I'm not gonna. Like, you expect that kind of stuff from emotional, physical, underdeveloped children. You expect that. But from an adult, sucks to be you. Go do it anyway. Like, you just, and besides, like, it's folding laundry. Flip on some Netflix, put it up there, and then just catch up on Haunting of Hill House or whatever while you're folding your laundry. Not a big deal. Like, this is what it means to be an adult. This is what it means to grow up, is that I don't care how I feel, I'm just gonna. And it might be easy to kind of dogpile on me of like, well, people, like, you're telling people to neglect their mental health. And actually, that's not the case. It's been proven through actual research that having clutter, like for instance, piles of unfolded or unlaundered clothing in your house, or not having simple chores like that done, or having clutter across your counters and things, it actually feeds a stressful and anxiety-inducing state of mind. That because you're in an environment which is not particularly ordered, your mind space, your mental space, is also going to be increasingly disordered. That's why you forget things. That's why you lose track of things. That's why you walk out the house without your wallet, your keys, your whatever. That's why you keep doing that, because you're surrounded by disorder. But the surroundings of disorder is actually a reflection of what's inside of you. You can't get into a state of rhythm. You can't get into a state of like moderate routine because inside you, like that what you're seeing all around you, that's yourself. And so it's also been proven that as the process of cleaning stuff up around you, it helps order things inside. That's why cleaning and like meal prep and yard work, stuff like that, that's such good thinking labor. That's such good kind of thought-inducing kind of meditation stuff, is that you're able to, as you're cleaning, you're also kind of doing the same thing spiritually. It seems really weird to say it out loud like that, but that's essentially what you're doing. So I wonder, boiling it all down, I wonder how much of this stuff is actual clinical mental illness, and how much of it is simply that people have bad habits which have stemmed from an immature understanding of what emotions are, an immature understanding of what being an adult means, that have resulted in just that they're just surrounded by chaos, and that chaotic surroundings makes them feel powerless. That makes them feel like they are kind of frozen in their space. Like it's also been proven like that just not being exposed to things like sunlight can throw off basic rhythms. Not getting a good night's sleep or a consistent night's sleep, tossing and turning. Not eating nutrient rich foods, not eating regularly, not having evenly spaced out meals, not having consistent like self-care and hygiene routine, not have like stuff like that can cause depression, anxiety, stress disorders. They also can be significant, like they can certainly be symptoms of those things as well. So it's messy, it's complicated, but getting back to what my very first question is, are you controlled by your emotions or are you in control of them? Is the fact that you feel sad enough reason for you to just not do something? Because you need to evaluate that. I'm not saying that that's wrong necessarily. I'm not saying that that's evil. I'm not saying that you're immoral. I'm not saying any of those kind of things. What I'm saying is evaluate that. Because just because you feel sad is not an excuse to not do something. However, what's causing that feeling of sadness is, everyone has troubles public speaking. But having panic attacks because you're going to go out on stage for something, that's different. Maybe you need to practice more, because anybody will have a panic attack before a presentation if they haven't prepared for it. It's one of the reasons why, like, the whole dream of like giving a presentation in your underwear, because you feel vulnerable, you feel exposed that way. But if you stay up, if you stay up on your stuff, you feel, or you study and you keep notes, have well-worded, elaborate notes that are clear, like you'll have far less challenge getting through things like that. So, I don't know, something to think about. If you think I'm way off, fine, but I don't know. Tell me what you think. Might make me sad though.